Liddy Mob. Hopefully the sound is working. Hopefully everybody can hear me. Pull up. Pull up a chair. We in here. Let me know something. Let me know something. Well, I feel like my pores standing out more. What the fuck? God damn. It is what it is. Yo. I'm ugly faced with it right now, but we good. We ain't got no drop frames. The live is live. Hopefully the gang pull up. Where y'all at? Yo, what's up? It's B Tom. My nigga B Tom in this bitch. What's cracking, cuz? What up? Ricardo Brown, what up? Stream title is crazy. Laugh my ass off, had to click. Jersey clean. We live. Hope you doing good. Hey gang, I'm doing great. I'm doing great. But I know y'all done heard what I done heard, or if y'all haven't seen my algorithm, I wanted to have an emergency live. I can't promise we're going to be here long. My nigga B-Tom in the building. Shout out to B-Tom. Shout out to Constance. Shout out to all them damn kids, B-Tom. What's up with you, my boy? All them goddamn kids, my boy. You big father. I know I'm old as hell and I'm late as hell, but anyway, we're going to get to the meat and potatoes of this shit. I ain't got too long to be on here. Y'all make sure y'all like the video, share the video wherever you can. I don't care if you share it on Facebook, Instagram, Kick, Twitter, motherfucking Black Planet. It don't matter to me. Share the video. Brandon, remember at Brent House way back in 06, we was the only Lions fans in Dayton. Talk your shit, gang. I'm still shocked I met you, nigga. I was the only Lions fan I ever knew till I met you. Shout out to my nigga B Tom. Now, in 06, y'all might be thinking I'm old. In 06, I was a real young nigga. He telling y'all something right now. For everybody that don't know, B Tom is from Dayton, Ohio. He from my city. He knew me since I was in fucking elementary school. And way back in elementary school, I was a Lions fan, nigga. The only Lions fans we knew. So I'm glad you here. But we going to talk about this, man. Share the video where you can. Like the video. I'm going to give y'all time to get in here. I know y'all been seeing the rumors. I know niggas saying, 06? How old is this nigga Mobby? Just know I was a baby boy back then, gang. What are you talking about? Auntie's crib? Auntie's crib? What are you talking about? What's up? Is remember way back? Remember at Britton house? Britton is my uncle, not my auntie. What up, my boy? If there was one, I would say do. Wait, what? If there was one, I would say do whatever we have to move up. Auntie's crib? What you talking about? One? I'm high. I just hit the blunt. I'm high as fuck. I ain't gonna lie. And I had 2 cut waters, so if I sound slow reading the comments, don't turn me to a clip. If there was one, I would say do whatever we have to move up. Auntie's crib, same here. Same here. We been here, Booter. Yeah, my nigga. Yeah, he called me my nigga. My name is Booter. They ain't know that, B-Tom. You done snitched on me. My family do call me Booter. Uh, hydrate. Nah, I like being fucked up sometimes. Talking about an OT in this draft. Tackle, Yaktown. All right, look, we got to know. We got 30 people in here. Let's go for me to start. So, I don't know about y'all, but I follow damn, I'm really fried right now. I can't even remember his name. It's Detroit Lions on SI. I think his name is John or Jack. What's that white guy name? Y'all know who I'm talking about. He the one that when I made that video about the 5-year rule, he made a whole live about it. He shared it. A lot of y'all people came and start fucking with me because of him. I know his name 100%. I am really fried. I'm not gonna lie to y'all. I didn't think I was gonna go live. I'm fried. I just smoked. I'm off 2 cutties. I got my water to hydrate. But what's bro's name? Dan not good coach. I don't care. Everybody here on Brad, but Dan cost us the NFC Championship game. I'm not mad at your take. We're going to talk about all that shit when I get off here. Yeah, shout out to Doc. Shout out to Doc. Shout out to Doc. Shout out to Jock. What do you say? Join Mac Sum. What that mean, top tier? I don't even know what the hell that mean. I know I'm fried right now. I should have took another hour before I went live, but I like to go live at 9. It was already 10. I'm like, I can't keep waiting. But I am fried, so let me finish this bottle of water. I'm super fried right now. All right, look. So I was watching Doc, and Doc was watching Mike Valeni, and Doc says, per Mike Valeni, and I ain't gonna lie. After hearing the story, I'm going to say TJ Lang. Now, y'all know I'm in Ohio. I don't know shit about nothing. I'm going to say that the person that gave Mike Valeni the intel about the Detroit Lions and the fallout between Dan Campbell and Brad Holmes, I'm going to say it was TJ Lang. Now, I could be wrong. This is pure fucking, I don't even know the word. I'm so fried right now. What's the word I'm looking for? This is pure speculation. There we go. But I think it's TJ Lang. What I can say for sure happened was Mike Valeni went on air and talked about discrepancies or what's a better word for it? A disagreement between Dan Campbell and Brad Holmes regarding the talent acquisition or the players that we have been attacking and there has been roster disputes between Dan Campbell and Brad Holmes. Source Mike Valeni's sources given to us through Doc over there at Detroit Lions on SI. And personally, I feel like it, in a way, it has to be true. White hater? What the fuck is a white hater? Speculation. John Mack something. Shit, that's the best time to go live. Read a book. God damn, y'all in the comments go crazy. You're the only Lions content I watch. Laugh, I have no clue. Okay. We don't have a third. Join Maxum. Who the fuck is Maxum? Hey, y'all. All right, shit, I can't understand why. All right, that's where I wanted to get to. Okay. Now, the internet, a lot of the feedback that Doc has been getting back has been that this is absolutely, people don't believe it. People think Mike Valeni is just a hate content, like he just puts out Detroit Lions hate content, basically. He just farms Detroit Lions negative content. So a lot of people have taken this claim as being full of shit, right? Mike Valeni is a hater. He hates the Lions. He never has nothing good to say about the Lions. The Brad bots, as we call them, or the kneecap biters, I don't know if they're the same group or if they're two different groups, but they have vehemently stood on the opposite side of this take, which is why I'm going live tonight. Because if you have been paying attention, you would A lot of you niggas, I'm gonna be honest with you. A lot of you niggas, I understand y'all might be great businessmen, right? You guys might be great in your finances. You might be great fathers. You might be great family members. You might be great car dealers, car repairmen, whatever it is your field in life. And I'm talking to the comment section. You niggas might be amazing at it. And I'm not throwing no shade at y'all. I'm not hating at y'all. But a lot of you niggas don't know shit about football or locker rooms. And that's why y'all are here, because I'm going to keep it real with you. Where I'm at on this entire situation, I'm 75-25 Mike Valenti's telling the truth. I don't watch Mike Valenti. Whatever radio station he comes on, I promise I cannot find that radio station here in Dayton, Ohio. Or I'm in Columbus. I can't find that radio station here in Columbus. I promise you. I don't know where this nigga at. I've never listened to a Mike Valenti, but I've only seen clips on YouTube, right? But I'm 75-25. If Mike Valenti says he has a source that has told him for the first time, and that's the key word here, ladies and gentlemen, for the first time since these two have been hired together, Dan Campbell and Brad Holmes are on two separate fucking pages. And the reason that I say that is you have to look at, and anybody, first of all, before I get to my shit, anybody that says this has to be a lie and Mike Valenti has to be lying and this is full of shit, I think you might be more fucked up than I am right now on this live broadcast. And I admit I've had 2 cut waters and I just hit the bong. I cleared the whole motherfucking slot. I ain't nothing left in the bone but black ashes. Nigga, I'm fried right now. But I think you higher than me. Because there is no way I'm Dan fucking Campbell, first year head coach on the team that I fucking played for as a tight end. I went 0-16 on this fucking team. That nigga Dan Campbell went to the NFC Championship, and I guarantee you, by the Lord's almighty name, I guarantee you Dan Campbell feels more like me and you than Brad Holmes feels. I promise you that, because it's a difference. Brad Holmes is a ram. He got his heyday, his payday, his career in St. Louis before he went to LA. Dan Campbell didn't win a single fucking game on this team. So when Dan Campbell goes to the NFC Championship, the 0-16 Lions fan in me knows goddamn well Dan Campbell wanted to get over that hump. Dan Campbell, even more selfishly, you hear me? Dan Campbell wanted to win the fucking Super Bowl. Nigga, think about it. Think if it was you. Think if it was me. Think if it was anybody you know. Nigga, if you, all you niggas that play high school football, think about, bro. I played on a trash high school team. We ain't win. That's beside the point. My high school football team, ass. Nigga, if I could go back as the head coach and win a state championship, there would be nothing that stopped me from doing my utmost to recruit the greatest talent from the greater Ohio area. Everybody that's eligible to come to this fucking school, once I get to this game before this, nigga, I'm going to get Braxton Miller. I'm going to get anybody I motherfucking can. You can't tell me, Dan Campbell, as a man that went 0-16, he wasn't sitting in here. I guarantee you that next offseason, after they went to the NFC Championship, Dan was like, whew, I'm trying to win the Super Bowl. The problem is the scout, Brad Holmes, the drafter, his priority was paying, Paying. His priority was paying the men that he drafted. And you can't tell me otherwise. Josh Paschal stayed on this roster how many years too long? Levi Onwuzurike is still on this fucking roster. We got rid of David Montgomery. We got rid of Taylor fucking Decker. But Levi Onwuzurike is still here. Why? Josh Paschal is the nigga that showed promise when he played. As much as I shit on Josh Paschal is I can't even call him a bitch because he had a really severe, injury. Hold on. I don't like that. Why are we doing this? What are we doing right now with the camera? Hold on. What are we doing with the camera, bro? Can I get my camera back? Thank you. I don't know what that was. I don't know what that was. Where you going? I don't know what that was. But my point is, wait, damn, I done lost my point. There is no way that Levi Onwuzurike should still be on this team. If not, even the most stout Brad defenders got to understand that at a certain level, his commitment to the guys that he drafted is beyond ridiculous. You hear me? It's beyond ridiculous. I got Constance in the live. Shout out Constance, nigga. Hey, Constance, I ain't gonna lie. I'm fucked up right now. We talking football. It is what it is. Y'all need to hit me up after the stream, though. Love y'all niggas. We still need to go to a WWE event, nigga. We was supposed to go. I ain't forgot, nigga. We was supposed to go way back in the G. We ain't never went. Now, I don't watch wrestling no more. So, I don't know, but you still owe me that. Anyway. What I'm saying is, there is no way that Brad Holmes and Dan Campbell are on the same page during this offseason. When you keep Josh Paschal on the roster as long as you did, when you keep Levi Onwuzurike on the roster as long as you did, when you give back-to-back contracts to Emmanuel Mosley, there's no way Dan Campbell was just okay with Taylor Decker getting cut. You think Dan Campbell, the coach, wants to start Larry Borum? Or do you think Brad Holmes, the fucking smartest guy in the room, is on his motherfucking Matt Patricia shit? I hate to say it, I think Brad Holmes has gotten to the Matt Patricia, Bob Quinn era in his timeline. I think he thinks he's smarter than me, you, Dan, every other coach, nigga, we went to the NFC. You gotta understand it from his viewpoint, though, right? When we get to talking about this shit, you gotta understand it from Brad Holmes' viewpoint. I went from LA. I came here. I traded a Hall of Fame quarterback. I got a haul in draft picks. I got all these draft picks. Then not only that, the nigga did his shit. He turned them draft picks into Penei Sewell, Jahmyr Gibbs, Aiden Hutchinson, Brian Branch. I've hit home runs like my name is Barry Bonds, Sammy Sosa out this bitch, right? You got to understand the level of feeling myself that Brad Holmes is at. So you got Brad Holmes doing all this good with a loaded hand, though. I wish that's where he loses me at. Nigga, you traded a Hall of Fame quarterback. Matthew Stafford right now is top, 2? All time or top 5? I don't know the exact number, so I'm going to say top 5 to be completely sure. But I think it's like top 2 or 3. But all time in game-winning drives and fourth quarter comebacks. You traded away one of the only 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 quarterbacks that have ever thrown for 5,000 yards in a season. Nigga, I need him to understand what he gave away before he starts smelling his own shit so much. And I think Dan Campbell, as a nigga that was on this team when we didn't win a single game, I think he understands a lot more. Do y'all understand where I'm coming from? Hold on, wait. I just realized this nigga 1Repub17 has been trolling me this whole time. He said I can't read. He talking about Ohio. He said don't snitch. Then he said I got an Obama net. Hey, listen, if you don't take your bitch ass to the red pill community you came from, you little dick white boy. Anyway, beside the point. You keep trolling though. I need the comment engagement. This nigga funny. I ain't even mad at you. I ain't gonna lie. I ain't even mad at you. Troll me. I done trolled some niggas in my lifetime. Troll me. AEW is better than WWE. Yeah, he just trolled it. Oh wait, no, he said Obama net straight. These white niggas be crazy. Hold on, but that's beside the point. Don't make me lose my point. Cause I'm defending white people right now. You bitch ass nigga. I'm choosing the white nigga side over the black nigga. Shut your bitch ass up. One repub. That's all the camera time you get. But that's all I'm saying, gang. I truly feel like, how could there not be some type of rift? Everything. I mean, there's truth to the people that say, hey, the Detroit Lions kind of are gaining a reputation of bringing veterans in on cheap contracts, telling them to prove it, and then promising them a payday after they prove it. And then once they prove it, they just get rid of them. Because we've been the same people that sit here talking, why we keep downgrading? Like, we brought in Carlton Davis. He did what he was supposed to do. We got him the fuck out of here. And then we bring in DJ Reed. Not only is DJ Reed shorter, he's slower, and he's not as good. Carlton Davis has been the number one corner on 2 different Super Bowl teams, and he has 1 ring. What has DJ Reed ever been except a decent corner on a bad Jets team? You might even call him good on the Jets. He was a good corner on a bad Jets team. That's a downgrade. You go get Isaiah Pacheco. Sure, Isaiah Pacheco has 2 rings. David Montgomery don't have no rings. But the Kansas City Chiefs ain't never won a motherfucking Super Bowl or a playoff game or a game in their life because of the run game. We know it's Patrick motherfucking Holmes, nigga. What are we talking about? Patrick Mahomes is being compared to Tom Brady. We're not comparing Isaiah Pacheco to motherfucking Adrian Peterson, Emmitt Smith, and Barry Sanders. We know what the engine behind the Chiefs was. We don't even have to talk about DJ fucking Wanham. DJ Wanham ain't been good since 2023. We went from 11.5 sacks to 3. We ain't even got to talk about, and I don't even, I'm gonna throw him a bone. I don't even like Alex Anzalone, gang. I think Alex Anzalone's pretty fucking trash. But going from Alex Anzalone, he's out of here. But the guy that you bring in is, I can't even remember this bum ass nigga's name from the Cowboys. He used to be good when he was with LSU. Then it was a spinal fusion surgery. Then he had knee issues starting in 2024. What's this bum ass nigga's name? This is what I don't understand. For anybody that says undoubtedly, unequivocally, hell no, that's fake. Brad Holmes and Dan Campbell are 1,000% on the same page. There's no way they, nigga. I think how is your brain set up? You think Dan Campbell is the coach that has to go out and coach? You think Dan Campbell don't know DJ Wanham was ranked 113 out of 115th in pass rushing? You don't think he know that? You don't think Dan Campbell knows DJ Wanham's pass rush win rate was 109th? You think Dan Campbell is just okay with all this shit? Dan Campbell can't go out there and throw a fucking pass or get a fucking sack. I don't understand the pushback. If we being honest, gang, I don't understand the pushback. What are we pushing back on? What are we pushing back on? If Mike Valenti says, a source of his said that for the first time, not that for the fact that they said it's the first time, nigga, we lost Taylor Decker, we lost David Montgomery, we downgraded at edge, we lost Al-Qadim Muhammad, we downgraded at center, what are you talking about? What are we talking about? Christian Essen, as much as I love his athletic score, he ass. Absolute dog shit. Roger McQuarrie, as much as I love, him as a player, I fuck with him. I fuck with Roger McQuarrie. I'm not saying it's a bad signing. But for you to be last in the division, miss the playoffs, and your top 2 free agent signings are Cade Mays and Roger McFucking Crary, when you lost Taylor Decker and David Montgomery, think about the star power of the out versus the in. There's no way this nigga Dan Campbell is sitting. Yeah, this is all great. Oh, fuck yeah. I don't left tackle. First ballot Hall of Famer. Who gives a fuck? We had a top 5 left tackle for 7 out of 8 out of 10 years. Who cares? We lost him. Larry Borum will work just fine. If your brain allows you to think that Dan Campbell was just 100% okay with this, nigga, I would like to know what school district you were a part of and never send my motherfucking kids there. I don't know what your teachers did you a disservice because you lack critical thinking skills. Could all this just be rumors and be false? Sure, it could. But that wouldn't be the reality. I'm the head coach of a football team that went from the NFC Championship to a wild card berth and an ass whooping to last in the division and miss the playoffs. My trajectory is going in the wrong fucking direction. Not only that, I lost Aaron Glenn. Not only that, I lost Ben fucking Johnson, who, you know what, took a team that hadn't been to the playoffs since when? Took a team that was last in the fucking division. Took a team that was absolutely dog shit to the playoffs and won a playoff game. There is no way in hell Dan Campbell and Brad Holmes are on the exact same page. There's no way. I can create scenarios where I understand from Brad Holmes' standpoint every free agent signing and every free agent loss, the same way the Brad bots do. I've drafted so well. Aleem McNeil's going to have a $30 million cap hit. That's perfectly fine with me. Jared Goff's going to have a $70 million cap hit. Don't worry about it. We're going to restructure it, right? And we're going to keep him here in 2029. And he has a no-trade clause because I love Jared Goff. He came from the Rams with me, right? I don't need Taylor Decker. I don't need David Montgomery. I can see it from a GM spot who's smelling his shit, thinks he's the best drafter in the world. From a head coaching spot, from a nigga that got to call the play on 3rd and 1 and need a dog in there to execute. No, I don't see an alignment, gang. How the fuck could they possibly be on the same page? How? How could Dan Campbell be okay with his team getting worse after he missed the playoffs, after he came in last in the NFC North? I need any Brad fucking bot, anybody that gave Doc hell, anybody that's calling Mike Valeni a liar. I need y'all to explain the logic behind a head coach who was on an 0-16 team, who got this close. Well, you still had to win the Super Bowls, all right? We got to the NFC Championship. He was this close to doing the unthinkable. And that same guy that was this close to doing the unthinkable went to 15-2, getting your ass whooped by Washington. Widens the gap a little bit. Next year, we come in last in the division. Not only do we come in last in the division, we don't even make the playoffs at all. It's over. Stop being delusional. It's time that everybody puts pressure on Brad Holmes and says, you don't want fucking shit up. But the crazy part is this a homemade jersey? Bitch, hold on. He don't know I'm a gangster. First of all, you know how much money I pay for this motherfucking jersey? Nigga, enjoy timeout, bitch. I ain't put a nigga in the corner in a long time, nigga. Enjoy standing in the corner, bitch. Fuck you talking about, redneck bastard. And shout out to my rednecks, nigga. I'm from West Virginia. I fuck with rednecks too, but I don't fuck with redneck bastards. All right, I'm drunk. Y'all gotta forgive me. Don't cancel me in the morning. Anyway, the point is, and I see a comment from, damn it, Why the fuck do my camera keep going out, bruh? You proving the nigga right, bruh. We looking low budget over this bitch. Stop proving the ops right, bruh. Come on, bruh. Get the camera back, bruh. Get the camera back. All right. That's the last time that's gonna happen. We not proving the ops right on this bitch. Fuck him and everything he stand for. Oh. That shit funny as hell. But listen though. There's no way, bro. There's no way. There's no way they're on the same side. There's no way they're seeing eye to eye right now. You lose Anzalone. You lose 11.5 sacks from Al-Qadim Muhammad. You lose Taylor fucking Decker, first ballot hog. There's no way you replace him with Larry Borum, Juice Scruggs. You think Dan Campbell was happy about this nigga drafting Broderick Martin? You think Dan Campbell was happy that Josh Paschal and Levi Onwuzurike never amounted to shit, so we had to go and draft motherfucking Tyleik Williams in the first round? You think Dan Campbell is just happy that Terrion Arnold and Ennis Rakestraw have amounted to absolutely nothing in the fucking league? No, nigga. I would counter whatever you people's argument is with there's 100% some beef going on right now. Dan Campbell still got to coach this team. I told y'all, Brad Holmes ain't under no pressure. Brad Holmes ain't under no pressure. What pressure? I took us from here to here. I did enough. That's what he think. Ain't no fucking pressure. Ain't no pressure. And people keep talking about the 2023 draft or he got to go in and knock this draft. Bro, do you understand where you're picking in this draft, where you're picking in the last draft? You have 2 picks in the top 100. All you Brad bots, all you niggas that glaze him, outside of Amon-Ra, who the fuck is on this roster that was picked outside of the top 100? You might talk about a Vaki. Who gives a fuck about Vaki? You might talk about a Ahmad Hassanin. Who gives a fuck about Ahmad Hassanin? Who on this? Exactly. He doesn't have a whole lot of fucking success outside of the top 100, outside of Amon-Ra St. Brown. These are the facts of the fucking matter. So with you only having 2 picks in the top 100, why you keep lying to yourself like he's going to have a 2023 draft? It ain't going to happen. You don't have the firepower. You don't have the firepower. I need you niggas to stop being so fucking delusional. I 100% think that if there was any year for them to be beefing for the first time, it's the year you lose your left tackle. The year you lose your running back that averages 4.5 yards per carry. The year you don't have 4 or 5 picks in the top 100. The year your defense had lost a player with 11.5 sacks and replaced him with DJ fucking Wanham. DJ Wanham, nigga. The biggest news. Come on, man. I ain't even. I think real conversations need to be had about the direction of this team. A lot of you niggas is still in San Francisco. That's the problem. A lot of you niggas never left that NFC Championship game. That's the problem. A lot of y'all never left that NFC Championship game. A lot of y'all just completely ignore the fact that you were at home in the playoffs for the first time in 30 years against a rookie fucking quarterback and got your ass beat. And then you completely missed that the very next season you came in last in your division and didn't make the playoffs. And y'all just keep sucking this nigga dick acting like there's sunshines and fucking cherry blossoms on the other side of the rainbow. It's time for you to lay off the LSD, methamphetamines, whatever your habit is. It's time for you to lay off of it and acknowledge shit kind of fucked up right now. Am I tripping? Am I tripping? Am I tripping? Am I tripping for thinking that Dan Campbell might look at some of these moves and go, hey, bro, what the fuck do you expect me to do? Understand, these niggas didn't get hired together. Brad Holmes didn't choose Dan Campbell. Dan Campbell didn't choose Brad Holmes. The hiring process for them, two completely separate hiring process. Both of these niggas are thinking about themselves at the very end of the day. Sure, there's a level of collaboration. Sure, there's a level of fellowship. Sure, there's a level of friendship. But I didn't come in with you. I came in with you, but I didn't come in with you. We came in on the same year. My job is to do my job. Your job is to do your job. And if Brad Holmes can say, hey, I drafted Panay, I drafted Aiden, I drafted Brian Brands, I drafted Kirby Joseph, I got Jared Goff in the trade, I drafted Jahmyr Gibbs, I drafted Sam Laporta, I drafted Amon-Ra St. Brown, I drafted Jahmyr Gibbs, I drafted All-Pro Jack Campbell, right? Sure, I might have missed that corner here and there. Sure, I might have missed a defensive tackle here and there. This is a poverty franchise. We're the first team to ever lose every single game in a year. You didn't expect your hire to be 100%. Brad Holmes is going talking to Sheila Ford saying, hey, I'm 99, I'm 95% in this. And then he gets to leave his meeting, and then Dan Campbell has a completely separate meeting. When Dan Campbell saying, well, I've gotten the most out of the offense. I turned the quarterback that the St. Louis and LA Rams gave up on. The Rams wanted nothing to fucking do with Jared Goff. Sean McVay, a Super Bowl winning head coach, wanted nothing to do with Jared Goff. They wanted this. Les Snead, a Super Bowl winning GM, wanted nothing to do with the nigga that he drafted first overall. Let's start there. Let's start there. Les Snead said, get the fuck out of here. Out, but he has a ring on his finger. And a competent football team that is a muff punt away from whooping some ass in the Super Bowl anyway. Let's start there. If they ain't muff that punt, it's Matthew Stafford beating the shit out of Drake May. But y'all don't want to have that conversation. Y'all want they a muff punt away. They fired their special teams coach. They got rid of that bum ass nigga. It was a muff punt away. They got rid of Aaron Donald and they got rid of Jalen Ramsey. All we did was get rid of Matthew Stafford. They lost 2 Hall of Famers. We lost 1, and they're in a better position than we is. Still got the cap room or the cap flexibility to go get all pros. They went and got their all pro. We went and got DJ Wanham. Come on, man. I'm sure Dan Campbell is going and talking to Sheila Ford, and he's spitting a completely different tune than Brad Holmes. Hey, my quarterback's immobile. We got the best that we can do with it. You know, I had an all-pro center. I had an all-pro left guard. He let both of them go and replaced them with some dog shit. There's nothing I can do about that. We need to get better at the offensive line. We need to get better at cornerback. He gave me Carlton Davis, and then he let Carlton Davis go to play in another Super Bowl with New England. Like, I guarantee you these niggas ain't on the same page. How could they be on the same page? How could they be in lockstep? It's impossible, bro. It's impossible, bro. It's impossible, bro. And anybody saying otherwise, I would love to hear your rationalization. We're going to take it to the comments, though. I got to get my monologue off. All right, so again, what up, B. Tom? What up, Stephen Farmer, Ricardo, Childish Mahino? Stream title is crazy. Had to click. Jersey Clean, Lie. Hope you're doing good. What'd you think about Vakai being a hybrid linebacker? Could be good for coverage league. Get Vakai the fuck out of here. This is a bad draft to need a day one starting OT. Nah, unless you can go get Monroe Furling. I think Monroe Furling's a Taylor Decker clone. Boy, where you been? I've been going live. Where you been? Remember at Brent House? Yeah, we read that. What up, my boy? If there was one, I would say do whatever. Okay, I read it already. Same here. We've been here. Buddha read it already. Dan not a good coach. Okay. Dan not a good coach. I don't care. Everybody hate on Brad, but Dan cost us the NFC Championship game. I have no argument. Right. I mean, I think Brad's doing worse, but I cannot deny that there are games, specifically the one that comes to me is the Cowboys game. Absolutely horrible coaching, absolutely horrible in game management. But as far as the NFC Championship game goes, I understand how somebody could say Dan lost it because of going for it and not taking the points. But then I still look to Jared Goff, bro. I'm sorry. And Jared Goff in the playoffs it's Dan's fault technically, but Jared Goff in the playoffs is the same person, and that's who Brad Holmes hired. Everybody loves to glaze Jared Goff and talk about his regular season stats. I promise you, Sean McVay has never complained about Jared Goff in the regular season. Jared Goff's regular season stats compared to his playoff stats is night and fucking day, bro. And what happened was, even though you may be right, is Dan Campbell should have known this. He's $1 million head coach. He gets paid a lot of money to be a head coach. He should have known from Jared Goff's history exactly who the fuck he is in the playoffs. Even with the wins that we had, Jared Goff has only thrown 2 touchdown passes in a playoff game one time in his entire career, and that was under Dan Campbell, and that's why I give Dan Campbell a pass, because he literally got the best out of Jared Goff that you can possibly get. When Jared Goff went to the Super Bowl with the Rams, he did it with not ever throwing 2 Jared Goff himself never scored 12 points. I need niggas to realize that. They went to the Super Bowl. They went to the Super Bowl with Jared Goff throwing 1 touchdown pass per game. 6 fucking points out of your quarterback. The Rams went to the Super Bowl with the quarterback accounting for 6 points. That's why Sean McVay got rid of him. Nigga, you are the least important part of everything I've built. You can't score 12 points. The kicker will get the other 2. You can't throw 2 touchdown passes. He has never done it outside of that one game against the Buccaneers. In that game against the Buccaneers, he finally threw 2 touchdown passes. He's been in the league 11 plus years. That's the only time he's ever done it. Brad, what's his name? What's our offensive coordinator that went to the Bears? I'm fried. I'm about to get up off here. Ben Johnson is no longer here. There was zero expectation for Johnny Morton to get that level of production out of him, even if we made the playoffs. And I'm telling you, I'm going to look you in your eye. There's zero expectation of fucking Petzing to get that level of play out of him again. If McVay couldn't do it, why the fuck do I think Petzing's going to do it? Oh, well, Petzing is friends with Ben Johnson, so there might be a similar level of... No, you need to be hoping and praying that Jahmyr Gibbs rushes for 5,000, 2,000 yards, 1,800 yards, 1,900 yards, 2,200 yards. He might not catch Chris Johnson at 25. But 2,200 yards, 21, that's what you got to hope from out of the current, because Jared Goff has thrown 2 touchdown passes once in his entire career. Come on, bro. I guarantee you there's a rift between head coach and offensive coordinator. Talking about an OT in this draft, would like the quarterback Daniels from Kansas in the 3rd round. We don't have a 3rd round. Glad you corrected him. You're the only Lions content I watch. Laugh my ass off. No clue. Shit, that's the best time to go live. John Mac something. Speculation. Shit, I understand why. John Macaroon. I'm late. I've been watching the college b-ball games. What happened? Hopefully you caught up by now. I understand why Brad's doing what he's doing, but I feel like he hasn't been aggressive enough. There's a level of understanding, but not a level of agreement. Constance says, hey, what up, Constance Dunson? I love Constance. What up, Constance? Hold on. I'm gonna get to all the comments. Let me get down the list. I see super chats. Matter of fact, let me go to the super chats first because they fucking super chatted. Constance sent $4.99. She just sent it to say what up. Then she sent another $4.99. Shout out Constance. My bad, Constance. Shout out Constance. I see you in this motherfucker. I love you, Constance. All right. For sure. I understand why, Brad. Yeah. I got Constance in the chat. So we riding with MCDC. So Van, when you ask, is we riding with MCDC, that's dangerous because there's still the 5-year rule, right? No quarterback and head coach has ever won a Super Bowl if they didn't win one in the first 5 years. That's in the history of the game. So unfortunately, I got to ride with the numbers. Somebody got to go. Whether it's Dan Campbell or whether it's Jared Goff. Somebody got to go. And that's the sad part about it. Jared Goff could still, per the rule, Jared Goff could get a new head coach in here and win a Super Bowl. But the same is for Dan Campbell too. Dan Campbell can get a new quarterback in here and win the Super Bowl. So that's why I'm rocking with Dan Campbell to an extent. Because I rock with Dan Campbell because Jared Goff is bad in the playoffs. If Jared Goff was as good in the playoffs as he was in the regular season, I would say Dan Campbell got to go, get a new quarterback, and maybe we can expect more juice. But the 5-year rule and Jared Goff's playoff production through Dan Campbell and Sean McVay lets me know Jared Goff is the lame duck. I could be wrong, but that's just where I land. Levi still here. What up, Doe? Unless we cutting him to make a move, which we didn't, Pascal going to be a beast for somebody else, but Levi here on a cheap deal. I wouldn't be surprised if there's beef because Sheila brought in Dan and Brad separately and matched them together. Exactly. It's okay. Love you too. Be safe. You know I love you, girl. Decker leaving was a big loss. I'm going to get your number from Brenton. For sure. I'm thinking at best they come in third place next season. The window is closed for the Lions. Can we lose Brad without losing Dan? Yeah, I think so. They didn't get hired together. The evaluation process is going to be different. Now, who the incumbent, though, is going to weigh heavily, I would think. I would think if they cut these two in the overall, you know what I'm saying? If you fire one or the two of them or both of them, and then you go into the next hiring process and don't let either of the one that you keep have a say-so in who's hired, that would just be retardism, nigga. Sorry for lack of better words. It'd be retarded. So yeah, I would think you can lose one without losing the other, but it will weigh heavily on the input of the incumbent on who's ever left. No, it's not closed, but I think this might be another down year simply because the Decker left. Nobody wants to admit it, but the Rams won the trade. They laughing. No, ain't nobody not want to admit the Rams won the trade. 100%. The Rams won the trade. League MVP. Stafford didn't want to be here, though. I get it. You're right. Stafford didn't want to be here. But you got to understand that you are in a very privileged position, right? Every GM in the league that takes over as a GM doesn't get a Super Bowl winning. We put future on the front of it because he didn't have none of this shit when he got traded. But a future Super Bowl MVP and a future Super Bowl champion and future Super Bowl MVP. Every GM doesn't get to start with that. Martin Mayhew didn't get to start with that. Martin Mayhew started with taking over for a draft bust in Joey Harrington and John Kitna. You understand where I'm coming from? Like, everybody doesn't get the privilege of, hey, you get to start with trading one of the greatest quarterbacks of this generation. So, yeah, Stafford definitely asked to be traded. But I'm not speaking about that from I'm only speaking about this from the perspective that as the incumbent GM with the Hall of Fame quarterback that asked to be traded, you get like what you get to start with in terms of trade capital, draft capital of a floor. A lot of niggas is taking over teams with motherfucking Will Levis as the starting quarterback. Or we can go back to our previous GM before before what's his name? Bob Quinn. Martin Mayhew, a good GM for us. He took over with Joey Harrington, the draft bust, Charles Rogers, the draft bust, and fucking John Kitna. That's just a big fucking difference. It's a big difference than what he got to take over with. Would you have a generational quarterback like Mahomes? You always have a chance. Anzalone can't cover, and Barnes got burnt by Jameis Winston. Yeah, I've never made an argument that Anzalone and Barnes are good. I think Wanham could be better here than he was on the Panthers. I don't. Wanham almost died on the operating table, and I mean that with respect. I have to pee. I told y'all I was kind of drunk. I'm sorry. This is unprofessional. I have to go pee. I'll be right back, and I'm going to finish where I left off at. Don't forget that comment. Hit the like and subscribe button. Share the video. I got to piss. Oh, shit. All right, thank y'all for y'all patience. All right, where was I? I think Wanham could be better here than he was on the Panthers. All right, so this is my issue with Wanham. Wanham almost died on the operation table, right? So Wanham was really good. Well, I'll say really good. He had a couple 8-sack seasons. Wanham was a really good prospect coming out. Wanham was a really good prospect as a young player. And then he had that quad tear. And then he went in that quad tear, and there was several complications with the surgery to replace his quad. And this is what the other Lions YouTubers ain't telling y'all. That man could have died on the operating table. He had infections. He got MRSA. His surgery, and I hate to say it, but it's the truth. His surgery to repair his quad that he tore playing against us. The game was against the Lions. He was on the Vikings. The injury that derailed his career came against us on Christmas Eve, gang. It was Christmas Eve against the Detroit Lions where he tore his quad. Surgery was not good for that quad, gang. He could have died. Thank God he's still here. He's still playing. I mean, respect to the man. But he could have died on that operating table. There was infections. There was MRSA. He had to have 3 different surgeries, right? And he came back. He continued to play the game that he loves. And again, respect to him. But he's never been the same. So no, I don't think that he's gonna get better here. I know the full story. The Detroit Lions media ain't gonna tell you that. The channels with 10, 20, 30,000 subscribers, they're not gonna tell you that. I'm sorry. Their job is to grift. Their job is to paint the best perspective for the fan because that's what gets the money. The more positive you are, the more paid you get off YouTube. I don't give a fuck enough to lie to you niggas. I don't. I'll go work. I'll go get some bread. I don't give a fuck enough to sit on YouTube and lie all day. And I almost start calling out names. I'm not gonna do that because I promise I'm done. I'm too old to still be doing this shit. So, but what I'll say is, I know the full story with him. I know the full story with Damone Clark. I know why they're Lions. I know why they're here on cheap deals. And it's the same as you've always seen. It's another Levi Onwuzurike. It's another Josh Pascal. Both of them. That's why they so cheap. The Lions are banking on the players that they've already drafted. I hate to be the bearer of bad. There is no career resurgence for DJ Wonnum. And nigga, do you know the level of and I ain't a God is a lot greater than me, so I can't be the end all be all of this conversation. But I do want to set the floor for your expectations, and your floor should be it's over. Now, with the grace of God, with the power of Jesus, nigga, he can do whatever the fuck God says he can. I'm just a nigga. But from a realistic standpoint, it's fucking over. He was good in 2023. He got hurt in 2024. He was ass in 2024. He was ass in 2025. Why do you think he's going to come to Detroit and be great? He almost died on the fucking operation table from a quad injury. Infections, MRSA, 3 different surgeries. He's not the same player. Same with Damone Clark and whatever going on with his left knee. 100 and something tackles. Had left knee injury. Left knee snortus. Now all of a sudden he's missing a lot of games in 2024 and 2025. He's a healthy scratch in a lot of games. Why? That's why they're Lions, bro. No, I don't think Wonnum could be better here. Sure. The nigga that ranked 113th out of 115 qualifying players, could he be better? I would fucking hope that you can be better than second to last. I would fucking hope that you got enough pride to be better than second to last. But his ceiling, don't expect 11 and a half sacks is all I'm warning you. Don't expect Al-Qadim Muhammad, and he's ass. But don't expect 11 and a half sacks. Don't expect the slowest time to pressure to improve. He is what he is. Everything I said about his injury, about the operating table, MRSA, 3 different surgeries, never being this, it's all 100% fact. Now, God can do what God gonna do, and he might, 12 sacks, and I have to say, hey, we gonna have to sit here and have a fucking prayer and start celebrating Ramadan or something around this bitch if he do. But I'm just saying, be realistic. Be realistic. Did Marcus Davenport come in here and have the greatest season of his life playing next to Aiden Hutchinson? Or did his ass go back to injury reserve? Players are come on, man. Not gonna lie, I hate DJ Reed signing so much. We could be wooling right now if we didn't give him after grabbing the meat. That's a fact. They came in last place in the division last season. Folks be talking like they were on the cusp of playoff glory. I say we trade Laporta and give Campbell some pads and a helmet. I fuck with that. Taylor Decker wasn't going to last much longer anyway. You still needed another tackle anyway, regardless if he stayed or not. Better now than later. And that's where I disagree with you, Juwan Buchanan. When you have the easiest schedule in the league, it's not better now than never. What are you talking about? You got the easiest schedule in the league. This is the one season where you should bring Taylor Decker back if you plan on getting rid of him after the season's over. Don't wait till you come in last in the fucking division. You supposed to look at the season where you got the easiest schedule in the league. You just saw what the Patriots did with a rookie Will Campbell. And you supposed to go, oh, wait, we can definitely get better play from Taylor Decker than Will fucking Campbell. I can't promise you getting better play out of Borum, but I can guarantee you Taylor Decker wouldn't have looked like Will Campbell because Taylor Decker has never fucking looked like Will Campbell. Taylor Decker never fell off in pass blocking. Yeah, he did, but he didn't fall off a cliff. Taylor Decker fell off a cliff in run blocking because his shoulder was dislocated. He didn't have the push and pop to drive a grown-ass man 5 yards back like he'd been doing his whole career. But pass blocking, you wasn't touching Taylor Decker. I mean, you wasn't touching Jared Goff because of Taylor Decker. No, that was Graham Glasgow's bum ass. That was Mahogany had a fucking 40 PFF pass blocking grade. That was your rookie Tate Ratledge. Y'all keep blaming this Jared Goff getting fucked up on Taylor Decker, and it's not fucking true. He couldn't pick a nigga up and drive him 5 yards back like he used to in run game. But no, when you got the easiest schedule in the league, I need Taylor Decker on my team because you're not touching Jared Goff. You might hit Jared Goff. What he might give up 3 sacks in a season. In a 17-game season, he might give up 3 sacks. That's playing hurt. Imagine if we let this nigga get healthy. No, all the people on this Taylor Decker hate train, I think all of you niggas are football literate and you will never get me to agree with you. I got all the PFF numbers. I don't know what y'all are using. Y'all can't even pull up fucking film. All these new YouTubers, y'all can't pull up film to show me where it was okay to let go of Taylor Decker. Show me the film of Taylor Decker being the weak link on that offensive line. I would argue that if Taylor Decker wasn't playing next to a bum-ass nigga named Mahogany, he would have been a lot better. I feel like Taylor Decker had to do a lot of overcompensating for bum-ass Mahogany, but nobody want to have that conversation. So that's all I'm going to say. Dan Campbell blew a lot of games with bad calls. You are correct. A lot is crazy. He blew a few games with black. A lot is crazy. He ain't blow a lot of games. He blew a few games, a few important games too. Just want to make sure the arguments are clear because he blew a lot of important games. A whole lot of games, no. But important times when we needed a coach to be smart, Dan Campbell has proven he's fucking stupid. And that's why 5-year rule says Dan Campbell or Jared Goff got to go. Y'all choose who got to go. I choose Jared Goff. If you say Dan Campbell, I'm not mad at you. I just don't believe in an immobile ass bitch at quarterback. That's the point we keep getting. People you think could be good instead of people who have proven to be good. Talk your shit, Day. Those good death pieces at least. Dan is looking like to be a meathead that has cost us some games, and you can debate he arguably cost us the NFC Championship. You can debate it. You can debate it. How do Brad and Dan get on the same page? Whose vision wins? That I don't know. I don't agree just as much as I don't agree with some of the draft picks of Brad Holmes. I don't agree with I don't agree with this defensive scheme. I hate this defensive scheme, and I know this scheme. The schemes we run are a product of Dan Campbell and what he wants to see. Now there has to be a marriage between what he wants to see and the players that are drafted. So either one of these guys could be the weak link. The 5-year rule and the defense points to Dan Campbell being the weak link, right? Some of the roster decisions, bad contracts, draft busts, lack of veteran talent, lack of veteran NFL acquisition, lack of being able to pay guys, lack of cap flexibility after year 5, that all goes to the GM. So as much as I wish I can come here and just be Nostradamus and tell you exactly who's wrong, either one of these niggas could be wrong right now. But anybody that says that there is zero possibility that a rift is going on, you don't live in reality. And that's the reason for this live today. Taylor Decker couldn't even practice. A lot of players don't practice. Deshaun Jackson didn't used to practice. A lot of players don't practice. And if you think DJ Wanham is about to be practicing, then you haven't been paying attention to what the fuck was going on in Carolina. Facts. A lot of players are injured and ain't practicing. Levi Onwuzurike ain't been fucking practicing. He's still on the roster. And he didn't fucking play. Taylor Decker played. So that's all I'm saying. But you're right, though. And with the dog shit team, they spent money. Maybe that's why he left. Decker's body was clearly bothering him. Decker had to go. Dan knew it at the combine when he said regardless if he came back, they would have to draft a tackle anyway. But again, you're missing my point. In the season where you have the easiest schedule in the league and your focus needs to be winning a playoff game, you cannot point to Taylor Decker as somebody that needs to go without a replacement. You're not Juwan Buchanan. You have the easiest schedule in the NFL. This is the biggest opportunity for your Super Bowl window. And you're not getting better at left tackle. You're not. I think we can all agree, everybody in here can agree, this season, whoever replaces Taylor Decker, unless it's Penei Sewell moving to left tackle, and then you got the same argument for right tackle. The point is, no, under every circumstance, when you start game 1, the hole is bigger than you. What am I trying to say? There's a bigger hole there without Taylor Decker on the team than with him on the team, whether it's left or right tackle. Do you understand that? If we had the 5th hardest schedule in the league, if we had a 15th, we have the easiest We have the easiest schedule in the NFL. I would think you would want to keep the reliable pass blocker at left tackle, even if that means we have to run our majority of our runs to the right side. That's where the Taylor Decker haters lose me at. You saved $11 million and got what? Nothing. Respect the argument, though. It was bad coaching that lost the championship game. You can say that. Again, I don't argue against the 5-year rule says Dan Campbell or Jared Goff got to go. So one of them got to go regardless. I'm not going to argue you niggas down about the NFC championship game. All I'm going to say is Jared Goff scored 6 points, which is his career fucking average, and that's not going to win you a Super Bowl. Go find me the quarterback that won a Super Bowl averaging 6 points in the playoffs. I think Dan put a little, and it could still be Dan's fault. I think Dan put a little too much trust in Jared Goff because Jared Goff had another amazing regular fucking season. Jared Goff is a regular season merchant. But I'm not arguing with you. Dan Campbell, if somebody says Dan Campbell lost us the NFC Championship game, probably did. If somebody says Jared Goff lost us the NFC Championship game, probably did. One of them niggas got to go. So all you niggas trying to argue me down when it comes to Jared Goff and Dan Campbell, one of them got to go. One of them got to go. But does that mean we need to keep Brad Holmes? We'll see. Let me see. It was bad coaching. Decker wanted more money, and the Lions told him to kick rocks. Decker did not want more money. The Lions told him to take a pay cut. Cameron went with him, laughing my ass off. Now it was Vildor. Every time you hit the thing, it go out. Dan, calm down. All right, my bad. Dan Campbell need to be accountable for all the injuries. That's true, too. Dan Campbell do need to be accountable in the way we practice for these injuries. We got to get you on the heavy soon. I'm tired of being the bad guy. We might be able to talk about something, man. Shout out to my boy Easy. Dan Campbell works his players too hard. Players from the Eagles and other teams were shocked when they saw how hard they practice. That's true as well. It's Dan Campbell's schemes. He wants 300-pound edge rushers. Dan ain't the drafting injury-prone players. That's all Brad idea. Everybody's right as I'm currently reading the comments. Nobody's wrong right now. It's a debate to be had. That's what I'll say. It's a debate to be had. Injuries are just in the Lions' DNA ever since Dan and Brad got here. Now, I actually think Dan was 100% on board with Terrion Arnold. Ennis is definitely a Brad injury special. Don't do Ennis like that, bro. Ennis wasn't this hurt in college. Vaki is trash. Agreed. Brad Holmes doesn't call plays. Agreed. Who hired John Morton? Both of them niggas. Dan Campbell literally okay with drafting Broderick. He has a say in the matters. I'm holding Dan and Brad both accountable. You're going to have to provide more than just your word that Dan Campbell wanted Broderick Martin. You can call all the good plays, but as players, you're going to get bullshit results like this season. Talk your shit. Dan hired Morton, who is a nepotism hire. That's his first fireable offense. I mean, I don't agree 100%. I think Brad had a little bit to say in that, but I'll agree with you. And I think he's had previous fireable offenses. So I kind of agree with you. I don't think that's his first fireable offense, though. I think it might be his second or his third. I implore all Lions fans to rewatch those Inside the Den episodes and listen to Dan Campbell. Hope someone isn't taking Broderick Martin. So you're saying Dan Campbell wanted Broderick Martin. He was hoping somebody else didn't take him. Okay. That's interesting. Honestly, I really feel both Brad and Dan needs if we don't have a turnaround. If we don't make the Super Bowl soon, I'm getting rid of Dan and Brad and starting over. I just about seen enough. I don't see why Dan and Brad like injury-prone players. Me neither. Me too, Juwan. Dan and Brad naive at first with the whole edge defense having to be run stoppers first. Dan now might see his wrong while Brad not budging. Me 3-1. There's a reason why Sheila hadn't renewed their contracts yet to go after 2026. Again, shout out to Constance Dunston for the $10 in super chats, the $4.99s. The Rams have good coaching. Jared Goff has no pocket mobility. Everything has to be perfect around him. And if something goes wrong with defense, get Goff off his spot to football. Going straight into the dirt. Agreed. Knowing full well Goff might be the worst quarterback in the league with interior pressure and letting it go. Get as messy as it is baffling. Agreed. That is Micro Mike smoking up, listening to OG speak. Shout out to Micro Mike. In terms of interior offensive line talent, Brad, Dan, and Goff train has to come to an end. What you think about Eric Gentry? Would you believe I don't know who the fuck Eric Gentry is? Provide more context. Thank you, Stafford, my boy. He didn't know Josh Reynolds was going to have those drops. And again, blaming that whole game on Josh Reynolds is absolutely weak as fuck. But you respect. Don't forget about our wide receiver drops. Defense don't have to fear Goff too much because they know he has no pocket mobility. The Rams know they wasn't winning with Goff. He can extend plays once you get him off his spot. NFC Championship, Goff is trash. Can't win with him. Who is more responsible? Who is more replaceable? In my opinion, is Dan. Who is more replaceable? A good head coach or a good GM? I feel like a good head coach is more important. So the question ultimately becomes, is Dan Campbell really a good head coach? Because I would think if Dan Campbell is as good as the head coach as he's given credit for, then the GM would be an easier replacement. Because you can give a head coach more rope. There's a lot of head coaches around the league. John Harbaugh signed his deal with the Giants. You best believe he gets some fucking say-so who gets drafted. Who was the other guy I was thinking of? Damn, I had him in my mind and I forgot. But there's another head coach out there who notoriously has Bill Belichick. Bill Belichick has a huge say-so in who's drafted. Mike Tomlin has a huge say-so in who's drafted. So it all depends on the relationship between the front office and ownership, right? If we let go of Brad Holmes and we let Dan Campbell pick his new general manager, and there's a marriage there to where they're both 100% on who gets drafted, then Brad Holmes is easily easier to replace. But on the opposite end, if you trust Brad Holmes to bring in a coach that can get the best out of talent, and I just don't know. As far as I look at it this way, Brad Holmes has only been in L.A. Brad Holmes or St. Louis. Brad Holmes has only been with the Rams. He's only been under Les Snead. That's all he knows. Unless, or someone can correct me if I'm wrong before we get off the live, but from what I remember, Brad Holmes don't have no outside NFL experience other than with the Rams. I can't say that for Dan Campbell. He's been with the Lions as a player. He's been with the Giants. He's been with the Saints. He has more of a Rolodex, or he knows more people. He's been in more rooms than Brad Holmes. So he has more experience as a coach than Brad Holmes has as a general manager. So I would think that kind of lends Dan Campbell to being a little more, but at the end of the day, I do believe the 5-year rule, and I know I can't keep Dan Campbell with Jared Goff. With Jared Goff's contract now being restructured here till 2029, do I wait till 2030 to fire Dan Campbell? Knowing damn well no head coach quarterback duo has ever won a Super Bowl after year 5, if they didn't win one before year 5 or year 5 or before. We are in a fucked up spot, y'all. And that's just the facts of the matter. Sean McVay could win with this team. I agree. McVay the best coach in football. When Detroit I agree. Andy Reid up there too now. When Detroit get a quarterback, they will win a Super Bowl. He might be right. Prime example is a playoff game against Washington last year. Bro turned the ball over 5 times. They don't want to talk about that. We need a mobile quarterback. Goff is good enough. Seahawks proved that you can win with an average quarterback like Sam Darnold. His mobility played a factor too. And the league has moved from pure pocket passer. The league has evolved and Goff ain't it. I agree and I disagree. Listen, when it comes to Sam Darnold, I think people just keep writing him off as average. Y'all got to remember Sam Darnold had to play in that game against the Rams. Sam Darnold had to go out there and throw for 300 yards in the playoff game, something Jared Goff has never done. Sam Darnold had to go out there and throw 3 touchdown passes in a playoff game, something Jared Goff has never done. Sam Darnold had to go and do both of those and not turn the ball over in order for him to beat the MVP and Matthew Stafford. Sam Darnold was able to elevate his game to a level that was far beyond average quarterback. Even if the Rams only lost because of a muff punt, if Sam Darnold turns the ball over or doesn't play to that level that he played in that game, the Rams win anyway. So I think we need to give Sam Darnold a little more credit, just a little bit more credit for what he did. 300 yards, 3 touchdowns, no turnovers. Jared Goff has never done that in the history of his fucking life. Not in a playoff game, not in a bowl game at Cal, not in a playoff game with the Rams or a playoff game with the Lions. Sam Darnold proved he is better than Jared Goff in the playoffs. Nobody wants to talk about that. Jared Goff is a superior regular season quarterback. I'm not going to argue y'all about regular season stats. In the playoffs, Sam Darnold did something Jared Goff has never done. Crazy. The only Detroit fan I watch. Lions hoping he is AQM replacement. Brad and Dan injury strategy is our downfall. Decker couldn't even practice. Legion of whom again? This defense is cooked like chili cheese fries from Coney Island. Decker was second best on the line with 1 arm, and that's a fact, and it says a lot. Lions history of having players have a resurgence on defense. Damon Snacks Harrison, Haloti Nada. Wait, resurgence? Snacks Harrison and Haloti Nada wasn't trash before they got here. I'm sorry, I disagree with that. Dan Campbell is amazing except with the defense. What up, though? Got nothing. What up, though, Falk? Got nothing from that 11 mil. Goff and Brad. Jared Goff is James Harden. That's a fact. I'm not a Goff fan. He is not a mobile quarterback. Josh Reynolds definitely lost us the NFC Championships. He played like the mob met him before the game. I disagree, but I ain't going to argue you down. Shout out to Heavies. Injured and cheap. I'm late as fuck. How long you been live? I'm in live for a couple hours. He been live an hour. Easy. Mike, keep Dan and fire Brad. Easy choice. That's the reason why you get rid of Brad and Goff. Dan is more valuable. Get rid of Brad and Goff. Goff is the issue. No mobility and has to be guarded all the time to be productive. I'm starting a petition to get Mike Villainy fired from 97.1. Why do you think Rams traded for Stafford? Well, I know why Rams traded for Stafford. Goff sucks. But it's either got to be Brad Holmes and Goff go or Dan Campbell goes. But Dan Campbell can't stay with Jared Goff. And that just is what it is. That just is what it is. And I'm all caught up on the comments. Shout out to y'all. Hit the like button for me reading every comment. I'm fried. I need to get some food in my system. I ain't got too much longer to be on here. You're not supposed to drink 2 cut waters back to back. And I did. So I'm sorry about that. I drank 2 of them bitches back to back. I'm kind of fucked up. Feel good though. But yeah, that's the live. I done said what I need to say. Comments can comment if y'all need to comment. But I think it is insane to think that these two are 100% on the same page with everything that we've seen. If you disagree, you disagree. I'm not mad at you, but I would like for you to explain it. I would like for anybody to explain how they could think these two are just perfectly on the same page. These free agency acquisitions suck. The draft over the last 2 years suck. And you got a coach who's going to take all the blame and going to get most of the blame because people are still going to point to Brad Holmes drafting what he drafted well off those Matthew Stafford picks. They still gonna go back and be like, well, they got Jahmyr Gibbs, and they're gonna say Dan Campbell needs to do a better job. But at the end of the day, what they're doing defensively is their downfall. And until one of them or both of them comes to realize what we're doing defensively is our downfall, like I said to y'all yesterday, we are the only team in the NFL to start 2 outside quarters that run a 4-5. Every other team in the NFL had at least one outside corner run a sub 4-5. 8 of the 10 top 10 passing defenses in the league had at least one outside corner that ran a sub 4-4, which means they were in 4-3, 4-2 range. Only the Lions had 2 4-5 corners, and we wonder why we were 20th ranked in pass defense. Only the Lions refused to get a bookend edge next to Aiden Hutchinson. Only the Lions think it's okay to pay Aleem McNeil $30 million cap hit this year. There's a lot that needs to be fixed. A whole lot. And that's just the facts. Have a great night. What do you think? Yeah, have a great night. I will. I'm about to go eat. I'm gonna make me some chicken and rice or some shit. I don't know. Chicken and rice. I'm getting back in the gym. You know what I'm saying? Who trying to start this gym journey with? I'm getting back in the gym. So I'm gonna have some chicken and rice tonight. Yeah, that's all I have for you, man. So I don't think Doc's tripping. I don't think Mike Valenti's tripping. I think some of y'all are actually tripping. And we'll see. Draft is coming up. Make sure y'all go watch my Edge video. It's a really good video, man. If you ain't seen that video about our edges, shame on you. Or the edges we can get in the draft. I think I did a damn good job of breaking that down for y'all. Shout out to Constant. Shout out to B-Tom for the super chats. Shout out to everybody that popped in here. We got to at least 60, 70 at the highs on a random live. It's your boy there, go Mobby. I'm out.